Okay, good day, ladies and gentlemen out there. My name is Debo Onafowora. I'm your agribusiness coach. Okay, I conceived an idea listening to a friend of mine, and I felt there are a lot of things that is lacking out there, especially in the industry of agribusiness, that I need to bring to the fore. And because of that, I decided to start this series I titled Thursday with Debo Onafowora. So in this program, I'll be bringing to you different topics, different ideas, different information on agribusiness for those who are already in the industry of agribusiness, and for those who are not yet in agribusiness but who are thinking of being investing in agribusiness, or for everyone that is just looking for information that will help them to make decision in this industry of agribusiness. So today will be the first edition of this program, and today I'll be talking to you about transplanting. Now, when we say transplanting, the first thing you need to understand is before we can transplant anything, it means that thing must have been planted somewhere. But why do we need transplanting? Okay, look at this plant I have here. It's a tomato seedling. It was first planted in something called the seedling tray. If you look at the makeup of the seedling tray, it's a material that has some design holes for each seedling or each seed to germinate in and be planted. Now, look at this specific seedling that I'm showing you. For those of you that understand what a plant should look like, you will know there are some little issues with this. You can see some yellowing of the leaves. They are not looking too beautiful. And that's what I want you to actually take note of. You see, when we need to plant seeds, we don't just plant them directly where we want them to grow up. We do what we call seedling planting. That is, you plant a seed in a seedling tray, and you wait for about 2 to 3 weeks for that seed to become a seedling. Now, the moment the seed grows up to become a seedling, you need to transplant it. If you don't transplant a seedling at the right time, something will happen. It starts to die. You see the deterioration of the leaves, yellowing of the leaves, and before you know it, the entire leaf will die off. This process actually cannot be reversed. And do you know why this happens? It's because of this thing called the seedling tray. The seedling tray originally was designed just to accommodate this plant for 2-3 weeks to what we call the seedling stage. When the plant grows beyond this seedling stage, if you don't transplant it, it will die off. Why am I talking about transplanting? Many of us are like this seedling. When you were planted, you started to do well. You were growing, and you were growing up beautifully. But a time comes, you get to a level and growth stops. What you don't understand is, when growth stops in life, most often than not, what you have been told is you need to be transplanted. Listen, I've heard a statement that a lizard in Nigeria cannot be an alligator in America. It's true. But do you know a lizard in Nigeria can be a bigger lizard outside Nigeria? There's a story of a shark that somebody caught as a baby and kept it in an aquarium for 6 years. This shark refused to grow beyond a particular size until somebody saw it and said, "You are limiting the potential of the shark. Take it from the aquarium, throw it in the ocean." And they tagged this shark, and it was thrown in the ocean. Guys, 6 weeks after, that shark has grown to about 60 feet. The growth of that shark had been hampered because it was kept in an aquarium. And that's the same thing about seedlings. When you leave a seedling in the seedling tray, it stops growing, then it dies off. A lot of people are not thriving in this our climb. Nigeria is limiting them. Africa is limiting them. And that's why they are growing abroad. In this message, I want to say to the government, to the policymakers, that we need to make our environment to be thriving for our people. Our environment has turned to seedling tray. We have overgrown this environment. We need a place to thrive. If we want to stop the movement of people from this country, at the rate people are moving out to foreign countries, we need to transform our environment from the seedling tray level to the growth rate, to the growth, growth trough, to where things can grow. Because the root of this plant needs a bigger environment. It needs somewhere bigger. It needs transplanting. It needs to move into a newer place. It needs to move into a place where the root can spread, where the root is not limited, where there can be enough space for the root of the plant to grow. If I bring out this seedling, you'll be shocked. Just look at this. Look at the root. Look at the root. You can see it's coiling around what we call the substrate, because there is nowhere for it to grow again. And that's why the plant is dying. That's why the plant is dying. The root cannot move again. We need a bigger environment if we are going to thrive. And that's my message for you. For those of you out there who have stopped growing, you need to look at where you are planted. Could it be that you are in a seedling tray and you need a bigger environment? Whatever it is, it's time to consider whether you need a transplant or you need to move from where you are. But I'm sure when you are transplanted, there will be a transformation. These plants, these tomatoes will be planted or will be transplanted today. And in another week's time, this time next week, I will show you the progress of this same plant that you are looking at. When they have been transplanted, I will show you their growth. I will understand why it is necessary for us as individuals, as human beings, to be transplanted when we need to be transplanted, instead of just waiting for a change to come to us where we are. Once again, my name is Debo Onafowora. I'm your agribusiness coach. See you next week for our another edition of Thursday Message with Debo Onafowora. Thank you.